Hello and welcome back to Matt Clewes with. Today I am joined by Carrie Baxter, everybody. How are you?
Hello, I'm really well. Thank you for having me.
No worries at all. How are things at the moment? Are you keeping busy?
Yeah, I absolutely am. I've actually tried to since we've been in another lockdown, just sort of structure my day.
Hmm.
Because I don't do well without like a timeline to follow or some sort of plan, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's keeping me quite focused, which is good.
that's good. So what's the last year look like for you in terms of trying to record music?
Um, I guess I would consider myself quite lucky on the first lockdown, so April, May time, because I had most of my stuff recorded.
Hmm.
So I didn't have that frantic, like, oh my God, I have no music. I
Yeah.
had all of my music sort of in a backlog because I was quite new to releasing at the time. So like our 2020 plan was already sort of done. So the most I had to do was like mix and master things, which is fine because you can just send the stems over via online anyway. And yeah, I guess having the release plan over 2020 just sort of kept everyone around me really motivated, you know, because nobody knew how to
Mhm.
navigate like last year. You know, I was like looking to my manager like, help, what do I do? Yeah, but nobody knew how to navigate it, so
No.
it kept us really focused. So I've been
Yeah.
quite lucky that the momentum has sort of kept going since then, I guess. So yeah,
Yeah.
in the breaks where we've been allowed to see other humans,
Yeah.
I've managed to get some new material down and get
Yeah.
my vocals recorded on a decent mic in the studio. And but yeah, I've been lucky in the gaps that I've actually had stuff to record.
Yeah. So what have you been able to do anything from that? Because obviously Zoom is a godsend now. I
Mm,
think people very much underestimate Zoom.
yeah,
Obviously no one knew about it before the lockdown.
I
Have you
know,
used
right?
that to your advantage at all during this time?
Uh, yes and no. I tried. I tried to do the whole songwriting thing over Zoom,
Yeah.
and for me, I was like, oh man, like this is so awkward. Uh, like it was fine with people that I had already worked with.
Yeah.
But when I was just meeting someone for the first time, it's that like awkward like half hour of you guys just talking to like, hey, what kind of music do you like? Oh, should we just write something? Oh yeah, yeah. You know, like I mean, and some people, you know what? Some people have loved it, and
Yeah.
they're meeting people from all over the world and zooming and writing these amazing
Mm.
songs. I had like two or three really great sessions, and then the rest, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait until we can write in person again because
Yeah.
it was this kind of thing of like, you know, you would play some chords and then they'd be like, no, this chord. And oh my God, the back and forth is very challenging.
Yeah. I can imagine. I can
Mm,
imagine. So I've been listening to your music a lot recently, of course. And what I found was there's such a cross in various different genres within the music. How did you sort of find your own sound? Because there's
ooh,
lots of influences going on there. How did you find your own sound and go, yeah, that's it?
$1 million question.
Oh, got it.
Experimenting,
Yeah.
trial and error, writing hundreds of songs. And that's pretty much it. And it took me quite a long while, you know. Someone asked me the other day, like, oh, how did you kind of get to where you are so quickly? And I'm like, it always looks like that though, doesn't it? I started
Yeah.
releasing it a year ago, you know, and all of a sudden all these publications have my name in it and things. And but there's like 10 years of work behind that. I mean work as in just writing constantly and saying no, no, yes, no, yes.
Yeah.
And eventually I think I met the most important people that were integral to my sound. Two of my very good friends now are like the sole producers on a lot of my stuff, and because we actually went to uni together, so the time that we spent, we built up quite a lot of trust, and they
Mm.
know me very, very well. So when they come out with sounds, I'm like, whoa, that is amazing, keep that, you know. And chances of me saying, I don't like that, are so slim, you
Yeah.
know. And I think just building that trust with those two particular people, and writing and writing and writing, eventually we came to these two songs where I was like, oh guys, this is it, we have to release these, you
Mm.
know. And it
Yeah.
just kind of happened like that, you know.
Yeah. So obviously, I said to you I did my research. I read that your mum had a big influence on your music taste. Is that right?
Correct, that would be correct. She
In
loves
what
hearing
way?
this as well.
In what
um
way then? What was how? Because I'm sure your mum absolutely loves that.
oh my God, she eats it up like literally, and like yeah, she does.
Yeah.
um, I guess my house was like that house that, like, the front door is just kind of constantly open. It's
Yeah.
one of those houses where people just walk in and out whenever they please. And it was like the house that like all the Christmas parties went on, and
Yeah.
I live in that house. So the chances of you finding music on in my house are quite high.
Yeah.
And my mother's just got impeccable taste in music. Quite a lot of my family have really, really just on point taste.
Yeah.
And without you knowing it, I don't ever remember thinking, oh, that was the moment when I knew I loved jazz.
Yeah.
Like, Van Morrison was on in my house from the minute I knew how to walk until he still is.
Yeah.
So it kind of just seeps into your subconscious, I guess, somewhere. Just good music.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Totally get that at all. Because like even now, you're just constantly getting different music in your head, aren't you? In your ears, it's got something always on. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's quite overcrowded, I think, sometimes. So when I really love an artist, I tend to just stay with them for a little while so I can really soak up what they've done, like
Yeah.
rather than just listening track, 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 track,
Yeah.
because I just get a bit bombarded then. Like if I
Yeah.
really love someone, I'm like, oh, let me just sit down with their catalog and just kind of roll around in that for a while. And I go back a lot as well. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, let's not forget about the people that I grew up on. I need to go back
Yeah.
and listen to them for a while, because I think once you get a bit lost, or maybe if you hit like writer's block or
Mm.
whatever it is, you just feel like not inspired. I always go back to the people that I've listened to my whole life, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yes, I found it.
Yeah. Got it. Finally.
Yeah.
So you moved to London, and
Hmm.
how did that affect sort of your writing process in sort of the way that maybe you're influenced by things that helped you write songs as opposed to being in Ireland?
I didn't write at all, really, when I
Really?
was in Ireland. I wrote what you would call, I guess, poetry, or just like pages of words and lyrics. I still have like the big folder of, I'd say, over 100 songs, of not songs, but they're just like words or whatever, stories, I guess. And I didn't really get start to turn them into songs until I moved to London, because it just that community just didn't exist in Ireland when I lived there. It does now. Like they've got a thriving music scene, and some of the most interesting stuff is coming out of there, but it just wasn't possible when I was there. So when I moved here, oh my gosh, I think you just meet so many people when you move to London. They just show you galaxies of new music,
Yeah.
and I think that just it broadened my taste even more, and I've just met a lot of people that I started to experiment with, and I've very definitively remember writing my first song, or like piecing together the first song, and I was like, whoa, like that was quick. I should practice this more. I was really surprised with myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was kind of when I moved here. I just started, writing with people and just getting in the room, and kind of went
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's what London's all about at the end of the
Oh
day.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hear the stories, but honestly, that is what happens when you move here.
Yeah.
Your whole
Okay.
world just gets turned upside down.
So the new single, Pray, it's very jazzy. I like it. It's chill. It's a bit hip hop as well. That's what I mean by the whole, mix of genres. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
So where did that track come from then? What's the story behind that?
Um, I guess I wrote that in 2018, I think,
Hmm.
which is crazy because I've had it for so long. It feels a bit weird to give it out now and for other people to fall in love with it for different
Yeah.
reasons that I do.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones that kind of wrote itself. I wrote that in about 20 minutes, I think,
Mm,
and we had about a year's worth of debating whether to change the structure into like a traditional style.
mm,
And Duncan, the producer, and I were like, oh, we need a hook. Like, we should really write a hook. But we had so many sessions on the track, and I was like, I can't come up with anything. I can't hear it.
yeah.
And we left it another few months because it just wasn't coming up in the release plan. And I went back in September to do a session with him, and he had bought these new like strings, and he was like, "What do you think of these?" And he played it, and I was like, "Put that in. That's the end of the song." And now, if you listen to it, it kind of it
Yeah.
segregates into two like really distinct parts.
Yeah.
Um, and then once he played that, I was like, "Boom, that's the song. No hook. Let's put it out like that." So I was really glad that we did, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because I just, not that I don't like working on songs, but I just hate forcing it when it's not coming. So, like right before it came out, I think a couple of days before, and I was like, Duncan, I'm starting to panic. I was like, what if it doesn't connect because there's no chorus? What if people don't press play? And he was like, calm down. He was like, it might,
Yeah,
but we'll see. It's too late now. It's gone to distribution.
the risk worth taking.
Yeah, so I think I just really loved the lyrics so much that I was like, oh, screw the hook, put it out.
That's quote of the year. That is, screw the hook.
Yeah, I just thought, no, I trust it. You just have to trust it, isn't it,
Yeah,
in what you're writing, and you just sort of have to hope, I think, a little bit that people connect more with the words than they are searching for something to sing along to, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. It's all right. So what would you say is your favourite single so far? Would you say
Oh, probably that one.
Pray, the
I
latest
just love
one?
how, yeah, I just love how it turned out.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was one of those ones again. I really enjoy when songs kind of do the work for me. It makes me
yeah,
sound like a really lazy songwriter,
yeah,
but it's just I didn't have to think about it. It was something that I needed to get out, and when we wrote it, I just remember feeling quite a lot of relief that it was written.
yeah,
So it just holds a very nice place in my heart, I suppose, without getting
yeah.
too corny.
So do you like enjoy the process of it all? Like, from start to finish. What's your favourite bit of it? Is it the recordings, is it the writing? Is it finally getting it out there? It's obviously quite a good feeling to see it out there.
Getting it out, sharing it is
Yeah,
definitely my favorite part for sure. I do love writing, you know, I really, really love writing, but it's sometimes a little bit of a tricky, tiring process sometimes, So I think once you sort of get to that point where you're like, whoa, that's the track, because I don't really run too many vocals either. I usually sing it a few times and then I'm like, that's it.
yeah, I know
So
what you mean.
not one shot wonder, but I mean, I like to capture what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say in just like one or two takes, and then
yeah,
after that, I'm like, oh, I can't sing that scale anymore. Stop, just go with
yeah.
the first one.
I know what you mean.
So when you get to share that, and I guess when it's even better when people connect, isn't it? When people
Yeah,
are like, whoa, I actually dig this. Like, this is good. You sort of feel a sense of relief and happiness that it's kind of out there doing its own thing. You just let
yeah.
it off then.
No, definitely. So obviously we're only in January. We're at the end of January already. It's ridiculous
I
how it's
know, it's crazy.
gone so quick. What is the aim for the rest of this year? Obviously COVID dependent. Um,
To see other humans.
just want to see some people.
Just want to have some human interaction. Yeah, I guess human interaction would be marvelous. I mean, I've got a headline gig scheduled for April, and I
Yeah,
mean, it hasn't officially been moved yet, but like,
yeah,
I'm not sure there's any chance I'm going to be able to play live for at least the first half of this year.
yeah.
Which is super bizarre, right? Because when I do my first headline gig, I'm going to be playing my entire catalog for the first time. Isn't that
Mental,
ludicrous? Like, I'm
mental.
not even sure I'm going to be able to sing live anymore.
They
I'll
just
be
got
like, this is my first time, and please go easy on me.
yeah, yeah. I could imagine it would be pretty interesting, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's going to be mental. I mean, the only thing that we sort of have planned for this year is like definite releases from
Mm,
now till March. And then everything's kind of pivoting just like month by month or even week by week sometimes. Um, but like, I guess releasing is somewhat in our control, right? So here
yeah,
to March for us is like definite. I know what I'm putting out. All of the tracks are finished and ready to go. So after that point, it's a bit subject to change, isn't it? Because like I have a second project that I really would like to put out this year, but I'm just a bit reluctant to because I put out my first project last year and then I was like, hmm. Just sat on Zoom like, hey everyone, thanks so much for listening. It was just really bizarre. So I would love to just put another project out and actually be able to go and like connect one to one with people,
yeah,
uh, and like actually sing it for people and talk to people and just meet people who are listening to it. Because yeah, like I did like a online Zoom thing last year and it was nice, like, but it was just a bit mad, isn't it? Like you're like, hi everyone, I'm just gonna sing a few songs for you now. I just find it really difficult.
yeah. I know what you mean. You're like, where are you? Are you there?
Yeah, and the whole Instagram live thing is even weirder because like you see the comments coming up and like the love hearts and stuff, and you're just singing in your kitchen like it's to the screen. It's mental. Yeah,
Modern times we live in.
I know it's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Right, it's about to get even madder
Oh
because
God.
the game is here. It's arrived. It's called Object
Oh,
Alphabet, and basically, I'm going to ask you to pick up as many objects as you can in 30 seconds that are in your room.
I've got my headphones on, so all right, okay, I'll try my best to time myself.
Okay.
Okay.
But what? But it's that. But you can absolutely run around, do what you want, leave me for 30 seconds, and get as many objects as you can. The winning matters more. Um,
Okay. I
so
like to win, you know.
yeah. So yeah, gotta give it your best. Gotta give it your best. So I'm going to give you a letter. When I say the letter,
Okay.
that is your time to go get all your objects, and then we'll come back and we'll count them up at the end.
Okay. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna unhook my headphones because I feel like I'm gonna trip and
Yeah,
break.
that's absolutely fine.
Right. Okay. 30 seconds.
Okay, so you have to find as many objects beginning with the letter F. Go.
Oh. Oh
30
my
seconds
God.
started.
Oh,
Are you happy with that letter? I can tell you.
no.
10 seconds have gone.
Oh my God.
15.
Oh my God.
7, 6, 5, 4,
Oh,
2, 1.
oh my God. That was so difficult.
That was chaos.
I had a really intuitive feeling you were going to say P.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was looking around the room thinking I've got a lot of stuff that begins with P in here. He's going to pick P.
Okay,
I only
so
got I only got two. I'm absolutely fuming at myself.
that's good. Believe me, people have done worse.
I got a flip flop
Okay.
and I got a flat cap, which don't argue with me. It's not a cap, it's a flat cap.
I'll give you that. That's 2. That's a good 2, though. I thought you were going to go for what was behind you. I would have. Is that a frame?
You know what? I thought I've got glasses frame on, so technically that was 3. And yeah, that was actually a test for you
Oh, was
because
it? Mm,
it doesn't come off the wall. So I was thinking it kind of already exists because it's in the shot.
okay, I see what you mean. I don't know where to give you the bad news now, but no, it's fine.
Oh God, I'm absolutely the worst loser on planet Earth as well. So please don't even tell me.
Absolutely fine, but that's good though. It's a good score. Happy days. Roll with. um, Carrie Baxter, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I look
Likewise, Matt.
forward
Thank you so
to
much.
seeing what else is to come.
Thank you so much.